Born Fly?
Oh, right,
like
right.
Dude?
Yeah, all right, right. Tap in with him.
He wants to gangbang, dude, but all the youngsters can get locked up.
What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? We're sure what's happening in 10 and Trap News Network. Back in the same, like a crack of the same here at 10 and Trap News Network. It's not getting news views, not getting all the G-Tho. You ain't finna get anybody's call the G-Tho, big dog. And we are bringing y'all a viewer's choice, man. That's right, a viewer's choice. H. Blake, born from Rolling 60s, shot A. Trey Hoover Gangsta Crip 3 days after an OG was unalived, 2 shootings in the same day and more. He seems like he's extremely active. We finna jump into this content on the first news and also let's jump into this content. Let's get into it. Let's go. Big shout out to who we get this content from. Respectable Rants. Big shout out to Respectable Rants. We're finna jump into this content on the first news and also shout out to Respectable Rants. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Yeah, we shoot those on the dead homies.
In today's video, we're going to be speaking about HK Bourne from the Rolling 60s. We're going to break down everything from his court cases to how he would be accused of 2 separate shootings on the same exact day, 3 days after his OG was murdered. And we're also going to break down how they would mention uncharged murders at his bail hearing. But let's get into it. HK.
Oh yeah, they bring uncharged Wooty Whams, Wooty Whoppers at your bail hearing. They want you out of there, big dog.
Bourne would be one of the main faces out of the Rolling 60s, and he would be from Brynhurst. HK Bourne also goes by the monikers the Alley Cat and Born Ready. Now let's dive right into his court cases, and we're going to start off with the first major one, and that would happen on May 3rd of 2013. And on that day, he was arrested for 1 count of assault with a firearm on a person, 1 count of unlawful firearm activity, and 1 count of carrying concealed firearm on a person. And as you can see to the right, the offense date would be the same exact day as the arrest date, which would be May 3rd of 2013. He would then have to sit in the county jail for the next 3 months with no bail. But on August 6th of 2013, he would take a plea deal on the assault with a firearm on a person, and he would have the other 2 counts dismissed. And on that same day, they would give him 2 years in state prison. But as you can see at the bottom, he would have 192 days of total credit, and he would be released at the end of 2014. He would then stay out of trouble for about a year, but on December 16th of 2015.
So you guys wondering, that's because with the LA County, he's getting good time credit. So he might have sat for 100 days, for 180 days, and they might have given him an extra month of good time credit. So that's where 120 comes in at.
He would catch another case. This time it would be out of Inglewood, and he would be charged with 2 counts of criminal threats and 1 count of resisting arrest. And as you can see to the right, the offense date would be the same exact day that he was arrested. He would then have to sit in the county jail for 1 month with no bail, but on January 28th of 2016, he would take a plea deal, and he would have the other 2 counts dismissed. And on that same day, they would give him 4 years in state prison. And as you can see at the bottom, he would have 51 days of total credit, and he was released at the end of 2019. And after his release, he would stay out of trouble for a few years, but on March 4th of 2022, he would catch another case out of Inglewood, and he was arrested for having 2 guns on him, and they would charge him with 2 counts of felon in possession of a firearm. He would then have to sit in the county jail for a few weeks, but his next court date, he would bail out for $35,000. And just a few weeks after bailing out is where things would get crazy, because his OG named Triggs would be murdered, and he would lose his life on April 16th of 2022. His name would...
Now, I'm sure that sent him on a downward spiral, because when it comes down to it, excuse me, when it comes down to it, you got to make sure that if you're living that certain type of life, you're going to make sure that you are abiding a certain type of 1-2 step like Sierra when it comes to getting your get back for your fallen loved ones and your slain loved ones. For sure, you're going to do whatever you got to do to make sure that you're stepping at the highest capacity for the people you feel like you love that are being disrespected.
Tinsy Satterwhite, and he was 41 years old at the time of his death, and they killed him on the 6200 block of Crenshaw Boulevard. And the shooting was reported at 11:30 in the morning, and it's alleged that Triggs was sitting in a vehicle, and a shooter would approach on foot and open fire into the vehicle. He was pronounced dead on the scene, and police believe the shooting was gang-related. And after the death of Triggs, the Rolling 60s would take this personal, especially HK Bourne, because just 2 months after his death, H.K. Bourne was arrested on June 9th of 2022. In this time, he would be arrested for 1 count of attempted murder, 1 count of assault with a machine gun on a person, and he would be arrested for another 2 guns. So he would get 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a felon. And his last 2 counts would be possession of ammunition and assault with a firearm on a person. But as you can see to the right, on all the charges in yellow, the offense date is April 19th of 2022. And don't forget that Triggs was murdered on April 16th of 2022, which would be 3 days before the offense date. And police are alleging that 3 days after Triggs was murdered, HK would be driving his car in enemy territory, in the 8-tray Hoovers to be specific. And they're alleging that
So they are able to put all those locations together by this one individual, especially tied to these bodies. You got rhyme, you got reason, you got who, what, when, where, why, you got the how. Everything coming together is going to be an ugly, ugly, ugly piece of stepping. Once you step it like Sarah, excuse me, if they can prove that, you know, this man is tied to all these things. You got the motive, you got the firearm, you got the location, and it's looking like everything is kind of sizing up to be, you feel me?
H.K. Bourne would see somebody walking down the street and pull up on him and ask him what that Hoover like. And before the dude can respond, they would say that H.K. Bourne, who was in the driver's seat, would pull out an assault rifle and open fire on the victim. And H.K. Bourne would hit him once in the shoulder. He would then take off and go back to the Rolling 60 territory. And they would also have surveillance video of H.K. Bourne in the 7-4 Hoovers doing a shooting just hours before this one. He wouldn't be charged for that shooting, but they would say that they seen him on video jumping out of the vehicle and opening fire on 3 men with the assault rifle. And they would also say that they raided his house on June 9th of 2022, where they would find an assault rifle that was consistent with the one that was used in the shooting. They would also find a handgun, live ammunition, and an extended handgun magazine. And as you can see in the part that's circled.
Yeah, you're going to jail, bro. You're definitely going to jail. I don't understand why dudes maintain 187 weapons. If you know that you unalive somebody, why wouldn't you get rid of that weapon? Why wouldn't that be the first thing you did is get rid of that weapon?
The shooting would happen on 84th Street in Hoover. They would then try to question him about things in the 77th Street division, and he would refuse to give a statement, and he would lawyer up. He would then be booked and processed and wait for his next court date to hear about bail. But during this bail hearing, the DA would bring up the fact that he shot up 2 different locations in the same exact day, both in the Hoover territory. And they would even say that putting him on a GPS bracelet would be pointless because he's so dedicated to the Rolling 60s. They would even call him a very serious safety risk and say that if he were to be released, the chances are very high that he will kill somebody. And this is all alleged and according to the DA. And the uncharged shooting wasn't the only thing that they mentioned that he wasn't charged for. They would also mention him committing murders out of Inglewood during his bail hearing. And like we said, this is all alleged and rumors. And we're just reading what's on the paperwork that was processed. And obviously, with all them details right there, they would give him no bail. And according to one of my sources, he would have 2 notable fights in there. One of them would be Porky from 107 Hoover, which would be Treyway's 6K cellmate that went viral for the Braze situation. And then the second would be Capone from Inglewood Families, which would be the one that spray painted over Nipsey's mural. But
the Capone is the kid that disrespects the Nipsey Hussle mural.
After a few months, he would have a majority of the charges dismissed on November 4th of 2022, but he would take a plea deal on the assault with a firearm on a person. And don't forget that he still had an open case for 2 counts of felon in possession of a firearm. And on November 28th of 2022, he would take a plea deal on one of the counts, and he would have the other count dismissed. And they would give him 6 years for the assault with a firearm on a person. But as you can see, he would have 225 days of total credit. And for the felon in possession of a firearm, he would get 16 months. But as you can see at the bottom, he would be able to run this concurrent. However, even though they gave him 6 years, he would end up only doing 3 because he would have one of the enhancements removed. And he was released in the beginning of this year. But that right there is going to wrap it up for the story of H.K. Bourne.
So it sounds like he was outside doing a lot of damage to his enemies and all that kind of stuff. And it seems like he pretty much got away with it, seemingly, you know. Not saying that you should be out here getting away with 187s, but it seems like he kind of gotten away with his. And yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of people who aren't too happy about that. But hopefully he's living a different type of life now. He's, you know, enjoying his freedom and being thankful for the opportunity to live a life in a better way, in a different type of way, and not outside repeating the same situations and circumstances that got him locked up in the first place. With that all being said, man, y'all know the deal. It's red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest. For sure, it's free. Avenue 8 is free. We go.
Listen, bro. Wait.
60 bands on my name. How many shots to the center of a freak, nigga? 3 in his ass, lick his stomach, smell his pink, nigga. They throwing shots, time to see if them pussy niggas can take it. The nigga whack is a snitch and the jolly niggas are rapists. See, Lush was on to something, tried to act like it was nothing. Said you ain't know that freaky ass taker you was frontin'. Munchie ain't fucking with you and Spider-Loc ain't gon' save you. If you wanted, you gon' take it. Stop them freaky ass behaviors. Let's get straight to the point, see, we ain't gotta wait for later. Nigga with your last name kidnapped that girl before he raped her. Said the moms of gang members don't deserve no piece of prayers. When General butt naked, the kid touch her is your savior. You ain't gotta stall me out, cause I ain't asking for no favors. Get it cracking right now, we ain't gotta wait for later. Walked into your own building, heard my voice and then you ducked away. Was humble like a bitch, cause you a hoe, stay in your fucking place. That nigga whack and slut and pathetic Flacco's a fucking lame. Whack ain't come outside because he hiding from his fucking gang. Talking like you tough when niggas spitting in your fucking face. T-Row didn't quit, we wouldn't even know your fucking name. Whack in front of Adam, but Adam is how he do you. See, Flacco lied on me and then Whack told me to sue you. Treated Whack like a bitch, you should've seen it, it was beautiful. Now every single week that nigga jolly on my pupil. Is it Fred or is it Frederick? Is it Dave or is it David? All thighs on me. Flock a belly, now you famous. Type of creep nigga is you. How are you and Dave related? Nigga, no means no. You should've told him not to take it. I'm really in the field, you niggas stuck inside the matrix. From BET to the Knicks, down in Compton where your face is. That nigga real jolly got some freaky ass cases. Tryna fake fight Lush cause Adam wanted you to face. You wanna be like academics, making videos like point and shoot. You and Dave the same ass lame. We know the fucking truth. Brick ain't say this shit is a play, cause he don't fuck with you. He not gon' get involved when them real shooters come for you. If you grew up in the land, them thirsties, they would've humbled you. Grew up with them lions, I promise they would've hunted you. I get disrespectful, the next time I'ma punish you. You dirty fat bitch, I swear to God I see the bum in you. Niggas say they shooters till it's time to bring them guns out. Lose can't read and Whack lost his wife to Clubhouse. Treat Whack like a bitch, mark him out before he snitch again. Flacco, when I see you, I'ma show you the type of bitch you is. Niggas say they see me, they pullin' blick out. I promise that this Glock can make you sit down. Drum with a cooler, one for you, one for your brother. Wrap the string around the mop, sound like your dumbass when you stutter. Swear to God, nigga.
Hear me out though, right? Wait, bro, wait. Again, wait though. Just right though, right? Wait though, right? I do want to